Hello and welcome to the Bike Show. As you can see, we're coming to you from inside our brand new studio and offices.
Outside our new studio.
Anyway, we're coming to you from our new studio. There's a bit of a special episode this week. We are celebrating a true South African hero, and to tell us more, here's Matt.
Well, before we do, take a look at this footage that he shot himself, and you'll get an idea about what it takes to become a hero.
I can't believe this, man. I just had a car go right over my bike. It was in this thick fish here, deep ruts. Just can't believe it, man. So much money as well. I just don't know what to do. I'm gonna strip stuff off it and see if we can just get it functional, just so we can ride. But it's thick sand, thick fish. It's like the worst possible terrain. I'm gonna do what I can. I'm not gonna quit. I'll do what I can. Okay, just done the best we can. A couple of local guys here have helped me out. We've popped the exhaust on the back and made some plans here, but it's just insane. It's insane. I'm gonna try to cut through the bush somehow, because the bike's not gonna work properly now. I don't even know how it's gonna run. It's got the exhaust off and all sorts, but gonna do what we gotta do. Cool, cheers.
Joey Evans, congratulations, mate. You finished the Dakar. That is absolutely unbelievable. Now, we had you on the show before you went over to South America and did the deed. For our viewers who didn't manage to catch that and don't know Joey Evans' story, Joey is possibly now the most famous motorcyclist in South Africa, so you probably do know. We're going to try and bring you some more of the behind-the-scenes details. But set up why it is so incredible that you even got there in the first place. You've been injured riding a bike, haven't you?
Yeah, 10 years ago I broke my back, T8, T9 spinal cord injury. So I started off paralysed from the chest down. Fortunate enough, there was an incomplete injury. So over the months and years following that, I gained a lot of movement back and was able to walk again. Still have a lot of challenges related to that.
I don't think they were your doctors were thinking you were going to be riding a bike in future, were they?
Absolutely not. Definitely bottom of their list. Top of mine.
So this madman set himself a goal, which was to go and do the Dakar for some unholy reason. I've no idea why. Now, in his state, look, you can see he's a fit lad, but you do have, what are your physical restrictions as you go to the Dakar?
Yeah, as we are right now, obviously I can walk pretty good. You know, some people might look at me and think, oh, he's got a sore knee or something, but I can't run or jump. I can do a bit of a dodgy jog. I don't feel hot, cold or pain sensation below the chest. I don't sweat below my injury either. And I still have other challenges with bowels and bladder and catheters and, you know, all the rest of it. But what we're dealing with now is a piece of cake compared to guys with complete injuries, you know, so I've got a lot to be grateful for.
Top attitude, which I think is what has helped him get through what's about to come up. So tell me about the Dakar. I mean, you fly into South America, you go to the start. Is it as big, is it as crowded, is it as mad as you thought it was going to be?
No, it's more.
Is it?
It's insane. You know, we started off, we were at the same hotel as the KTM factory team. And so here's all these guys, your heroes, you know, these fantastic riders, and they're eating breakfast with you and stuff. And they're kind of like, hey, how's it? You know, or hi, you know, and you're kind of like, hi, you know, kind of thing. It's a little intimidating.
And you're wearing the same KTM stuff. You look, for all we know, you're a factory rider. So.
Well, I was trying to lead the people around us, lead them on to think that, you know. But no, it was just fantastic, and the crowds just love it. So, you know, we think about Dakar in Africa, but Dakar in South America is huge. The fans are just crazy for Dakar.
Okay, so now you've got day one, you set off. I mean, tell me the emotions as you go away from that start gate. Here you are on the Dakar. Yeah. You must be loving every second of it. It's a dream come true.
It was insane. You know, for me, it's been a 10-year deal to get to the start. So my dream was almost fulfilled, just being there at the start. You know, you drop down, you come up to the top, they announce you, the crowd's all shouting, you drop down that ramp, and you're officially racing Dakar. It was just incredible.
And tell me, was it a gentle introduction then, that first day? Is it kind of what you expected? There's not too much in the way of horrible terrain?
Yeah. No, first day was easy. To do a fairly short special, 60 kilometers or something. And then you do a long liaison, you know, where we actually left Paraguay.
So what sort of distances are we talking about to Liège? few kilometres to the next bit? Or?
No, it's hundreds of kilometres. You know, you'll race, you know, often you'll have days where it's 900 kilometres, of which 400 or 500 might be special, and the other 400 is liaison. But liaison can be anything from a straight tar road to a switchback dirt road going over 5,000 metres.
You were obviously aiming to finish. I mean, this is what the Dakar is supposed to be about. It's an adventure, you get to the end. So you're setting off with that in mind. Do you have to at times rein yourself in because you get a nice patch and you're in the rhythm and you're thinking, do you have to say, oi, actually, I'm probably taking too many risks here?
All the time. It's a constant balance of not going too slow, not going too fast. There were times I was in the mud and I was dropping it in the mud and I'm like, come on. And then I realized, you know, I took a little break and I said, okay, let's get your head right. And then I got on the gas more. I needed to ride faster because you're being like overcautious, you start making mistakes. And other times you're riding along and suddenly you're seeing puffs of dust in the corners. So you know there's a guy ahead and you're like, all right, and then the dust is more and then you get a bit of a straight and you catch a glimpse of his helmet and you're like, oh, we're hunting now. And obviously that's, you got to, no, come on, focus, we got to finish. Exactly, it's marathon mentality.
Oh, you say you're bailing off it. I mean, that, given the sport, that's something you're doing every day, is it? I mean, when was can you remember when the first time you actually pitched off the bike was?
Yeah, it was in the mud on day 2. You know,
okay, so you made it through the first day.
Actually, day 1. That was a big personal achievement. But yeah, day 2, and then after that, you know, especially in the dunes at high altitude, you know, I've watched Dakar before, and you see a guy will drop it, and he'll drop it again, and you're like, get on the pegs, stand up, get on the gas, what are you doing? But you don't understand when you've had that little sleep, and you've been riding for that long, you don't shift your weight forward when you should, you don't stand up when you should, you're not weighting the outside peg, you're fixating when you go through corners, you're doing all the things that you know you shouldn't do, but you don't care almost, you know, you're almost on autopilot. And so sometimes you got to give yourself a little wake up and be like, come on. And sometimes a crash gives you that little wake up.
The types of terrain that you've met, what was the worst and what's the easiest? Because you've got everything from this, what do you call it? Fesh or something?
Fesh, yeah. Fesh is horrible, man. We really don't have anything like it here. You know, there's a little bit Northern Cape now and again, but it's really just so fine. It's like cement powder is really what it is. So you don't ride on it, you ride through it. So you actually can't see the terrain you're riding on. It's like riding in a foot of muddy water. Okay. So you can't see what you're hitting. And obviously it just puffs out like crazy. So in terms of visibility, if another vehicle goes past or you're behind a vehicle, it's just almost nothing.
Okay, so the first couple of days, things are going quite swimmingly, are they?
Yeah, no, we're good. We're getting through. It's tough. End of day 3, I thought, this is how I would feel at like day 12. This is crazy. I'm completely finished. I've just ridden, you know, like 18 hours or something. You just broken.
So when you're getting into the pits, or what do you call it? The
bivouac.
Bivouac. Yeah. What sort of time are you getting in then?
I think I got in twice before sunset, and sunset was about 8 o'clock. So it was, you know, I was getting in late. I was leaving in the dark every morning and getting in the dark most nights.
You know? They are long days.
Okay,
days. So I happen to know that things started to go, well, they have to, don't they? They started to go a little bit pear-shaped.
Yeah.
Day 4, you had your first proper accident, really. Tell me about that.
Yeah, it wasn't really a big crash, but I tore a ligament on the inside of my knee, and that was a challenge. And so to deal with that, and I honestly thought, I've just thrown it away.
I want to kind of go to the bit that we showed you in the opening to this piece. You've got 6 days between tweaking your knee. How was that part of the trip? I mean, you're just getting more tired? How was the bike, by the way?
The bike is fantastic, you know, for that
reliable,
kind of terrain. Reliable. It goes, you know, when you're riding that thing at speed, it is so stable. It's fantastic. It's the bike, and there's you know, probably 70 or 75% of all the riders there are all on KTM Rally replicas, and they're an expensive bike, but it's the
money
right
well
one.
spent.
Well spent.
I think that's a good place to take a break. We're going to come back afterwards and find out more, and there is a lot more to find out about Joey Evans' amazing adventure.